Hello, everyone, and welcome to World Character Day. I am here with Kalimah Priforce. Thank you so much for taking the time today, Kalimah, to join in the Character Day festivities.
Happy to be a part of it. Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Before we get started, I just wanted to do a couple of announcements. We are turning Character Day into a fundraiser for all of the flood victims. So if you haven't done so already, please do go to the American Red Cross or any other relief efforts. We also have a button on our Character Day site, characterday.org, where you can donate straight from there. It's one thing to be talking about character all day, but it's another to actually be showing it and to being connected to everyone on this planet during these hard times. If you would like to join in the conversation throughout this Q&A and others, please do use the hashtag #cultivatingcharacter, and we'll be sure to answer any questions that you may have, and we would love to see any pictures or videos that you will be sharing throughout the day. Before we get started, let me just read Kalimah's bio. Let's see here. Kalimah Priforce is committed to eliminating barriers to human potential as the headmaster CEO of Kino, industry leader for the inclusive innovation ecosystem. Kino is home to Hackathon Academy, the first pop-up school that prepares youth and their mentors to build web and mobile apps that accelerate college and career pathways in STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art design, and mathematics. From Tech Equity Week's Multi-City World's Fair to Moonshot Q's product development, school for college students and pre-professionals, Kino creates opportunities for all. So again, Kalimah, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to start off with your journey of your background. The first word and character strength that comes to mind when I think of you is perseverance and optimism. It really is. You came from, a rough upbringing, and you have really come to make a difference for so many kids. So can you kind of tell a little bit about your story and how Kino came to be?
Sure. My name is Kalimah Priforce. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I grew up in a group home in Brooklyn. A group home is kind of like a fictional orphanage, but they are run by the government. And so I grew up in a group home, which meant I didn't have any parents, and that also meant that I had to sort of fend for myself, surrounded by hundreds of kids. And when I was 8 years old, I had a hunger strike against my group home in order to get more books into the group home library. And when I did that, and that lasted about 3 days, I was able to not only get more books into the group home library, but it allowed me to go to the library outside of the group home and to the museum. And I think that's from there has been the turning point in my life, not just to be someone who can stand up for equity, for opportunity, but to be a hacker, to be able to understand how systems work and what is it that I can do in order to create opportunity. And so, I started my first computer company when I was 16. I sold it at 19. Started another company, and now I run Kino, which started off as an education software company, focusing on helping kids connect to STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art design, mathematics. We use STEAM for short, and using an app to do that. And then the Trayvon Martin tragedy struck America, and being here now in California, in the Oakland area, I decided that I wanted to do something a little bit different than just building apps. I wanted to help young people solve the biggest problems in the world by building apps themselves. And so we then launched Hackathon Academy, and Hackathon Academy, our first Hackathon Academy, was very successful, and now we do them all the time. And so now Kino has emerged from being a software company to sort of being this education company, and now we're becoming a global think tank to drive the future of inclusive innovation.
That is just amazing. And so where are you getting these kids from? Like, what are their backgrounds? And can you tell me one of your favorite stories about one of the app innovations that one of your students or groups have worked on?
Sure. So our kids come from public-private schools. They come from churches. They come from community organizations. We usually just put the word out that Hackathon Academy is throwing together an event. And what's really important is that our Hackathon Academies have particular themes, whether they're tied to President Obama's My Brother's Keeper, whether they're tied to, we recently had Mbutu Hack, which was focused on reconciliation between local youth and police officers, and our upcoming Hackathon Academy that focuses on deportation, immigration, and what it is to have that experience of having to face those kind of fears. Those themes tend to attract our kids, tend to attract parents, tend to attract mentors who build these apps alongside them. And these kids will build anything from Zachary Dorsonville, who created an app to help kids manage their mental health, to prevent suicide, as he, also an orphan, had to face depression at a very young age, and he wanted to help other kids with that. George Hofstetter, so Zachary's in New York, George is in Oakland, and George wanted to build an app that focused on helping kids manage their interactions with police officers. Yudi L'Esperance, who I met in New Orleans, he built an app that helps for young people to be able to use all of the different resources, knowledge and resources that is available on the web, and create it in an easy, fun way, so that you would have all this knowledge available, so you can sort of teach yourself. And Yudi has gone from someone who wasn't interested in computer science to not only majoring in computer science, but now he's here in Silicon Valley interning for a technology company and is a Code 2040 fellow.
That is amazing. So many amazing success stories, and I'm sure you have so many more. Really, really great program. And for those who are watching, definitely you should check it out and get more of your students involved in Kino. One last thing, we are running out of time, Kalimah, but we are asking every single one of our presenters today this quick question. What does the world need more of right now?
I believe that the world needs more courage. I think that courage is a character attribute that I had to cultivate growing up, and I think it's really important for kids to cultivate. That not too long ago, we had a very legal system called slavery in America, and it went on for hundreds of years. And there was a lot of injustice. So to the point that if someone said that they wanted to not be a slave anymore, or if they tried to escape, then they would be against the law. And so what happens when you're faced with something that is legal but is wrong? Where do you turn to? And that is the question that women have had to face in fighting for their rights. It's something that Dr. King had to face in fighting for civil rights. And there's always going to be moments when sometimes society falls behind where we should be. And I think it's very important that every generation is able to seize that courage to be able to say, hey, I know that this is how things are now, but we believe in a future where things can be better. And courage allows us to be able to see the future and make the future into the present.
Wonderful, wonderful answer. Thank you so much, Kalimah. And I absolutely agree about courage. And thank you so much for joining us today, and have a happy Character Day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.